Guys, welcome back to a new episode on this Kx85 rebuild. In this episode, we're going to be servicing my brake caliper, my front brake caliper. We're going to be greasing bits up, pushing pistons back, and yeah, just checking for basic damage. I will take you through step by step on how to service it and how to look for damage, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get straight into it. And then try and get these pistons out, but obviously there's too much meat on the brake pads, and the brake pads are like too seized up for the rotor to go in. So I'm trying to push them back, but they're not going back. It's pretty much there, to be fair. Obviously, if you got to check all your seals and everything, because if anything's leaking, then you know that you've got a problem. I don't know what hole there, but yeah, you got to check these. Right, guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm re-greasing everything here. So what I'm going to get a rag, start getting all this shit off. See, every now and then you need to go over your bits. Obviously, the more times they get used, the more times, obviously, things need lubricating, greasing up. Just gonna add some grease. Don't go too mad, otherwise it will end up coming out of the caliper. So you should give it a light grease. Don't go mad. Just like that. Oh, that's a bit dirty. Move that to the side. So it goes like that, and then you got this top end here goes in to this boot here. So if I go like that, that's it, like that. That goes on like that. And then that goes like that. What you want to do is just press it in. Just like that. And then I've got a little clip here, if you can see that. A little clip, if it focuses. Basically, this little clip here goes on this corner to keep it in place. So right, so this boot here, as you can see, this boot here is a bit of a pain to get on, so you might just have to rotate it in order for it to be sealed properly. And that's done. Right, that's done. Right, the trick is with these, to get the boots on, you have to keep rotating it, because it's so temperamental. This one down here is so temperamental. This one's alright, this one's perfect. So now that's done, I'm going to try and push these pistons back in. I don't know if I would be able to do that, but I need to get that. I need to also get that clip back in, which, if I can remember where it went. Goes like that. Oh, goes like that down the side, doesn't it? that's doing exactly, but guys, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is clean my brake pads up. Obviously, as you can see there, there's quite a bit of meat left. Obviously, these were not used, and they were, but there's quite a bit of meat left. I'm going to go ahead and clean these up. Clean these brake pads up. They're very dirty. Yeah, I'm going to get my wire brush and what else? Yeah, just some degreaser or something just to give these a good clean. So we'll go ahead, just get anything, just get water, degreaser. Second pad cleaned. Basically, guys, when you've done all that and you've got your spring in, you want to get your first pad in, and it's pretty simple to be fair. But you can see this here. You've got the 2 pistons, and then you want to get your first pad, just slide straight in, and just literally like that, and everything has to align flat as well. So if your brake pad is sticking too far out, so if you can see that down there, so if your brake pad, this bit, if it's sticking too far out this side, your pistons need to be pressed back in a little bit. I'm going to see if the other pad doesn't go in properly. I'm going to see if I can push the pistons back. So look, guys, as you can see there, both brake pads are literally touching, and that's not right. So the pistons need to be pressed back a little bit more. And yeah, guys, so I finally managed to push the pistons back. Basically what I did is, if I move this down here, like that, you get your smaller pad, you put it on where it's about to go, on where it should go, and you get your other one, you put that one in as well, which goes the other way like that. Like that, and then basically you want to leverage. Obviously this is not a good idea, but it's probably the quickest way. You want to get the piston in between the piston and the brake pad. So you want to get your screwdriver in between, if you can see that there, in between your piston and your brake pad. I don't suggest doing this. Obviously it will end up bending your brake pad. But yeah, that's the only way that I can clear for the rotor to go in. So yeah, I've had to take out, where is it? Where's that? Oh, sorry. Right, so I've had to take that out, and then the boot as well, which is on there. So yeah, and then I'll end up putting this back on there like that, and then I can get the hose back on, and then I can get the brake caliper on the bike. And then obviously the front wheel can go on as well. I just have to end up bleeding the brakes again. Get all the air out of the system. And then yeah. So I'll put it back together. I'll probably do like a little time lapse. Now let's get the boot back on over the groove. Right, I'm gonna have to pull this shoe thing back out. I don't actually know what this is called, but But yeah, you'll have to rotate it. Might be a bit of a pain because you've got to get it over this little groove here. There's a little groove here, and then obviously you can probably see that little groove there. And then the rubber seal has got to go over that as well. So you might have to just... Oh, there we go, look. The other side's come undone. So once one... That's just temperamental, really. Because once one side goes on, the other side comes off. You just have to keep playing around with it, really. Right, there we go. That's that on. As you can see, covered, and that side's covered as well. And this side, that side's covered. And then basically, you wanna get this little clip, and then this clip goes like, I think it goes that way. Right, so you see this down here, I don't know if you can see it, but that little, where it goes at like a little right angle, that clip, that little clip there goes, it just seats on it, just to like give the brake pad a bit of a spring. So that goes, if I'm good on, there we go. So that goes on like that, it just seats at that angle. If you can see that there, if it focuses, you can see where the clips come round, like that. And then the other side just and just sits on that right angle. And then that first little small brake pad goes on. Trying to do this so you can, it sits literally, it should sit flat and like flush, and it should have a bit of a tension like that. And then you got your bigger brake pad, which goes on that sleeve like that, and then drops down like that. And then obviously, now that I've got a lot of clearance, if you can see that, I've got a lot more clearance than what I had, because I've pushed those pistons back, and I have a lot more room for the rotor to go in, which is handy. And then basically what you want to do is, I've got these pins, so these pins that I've bagged up here. Right, that's for the hose. I've got to put that back on. I've got to put that back on the hose, and that sits on the hose like that, so that would sit, basically that would sit where that hose goes there. So that it's got a little washer seat, it sits like that, and then obviously the hose goes on, held in by a 12mm bolt, I think. Yeah, so I'll leave that till later, but all we're focusing on now is getting this pin in. And basically, obviously you've got a little hole there, if you can see that. And then I want to be putting my pin in like that, Actually, I might re-grease this real quick because it's a bit dirty. Hasn't been you can grease this up a little bit because it still needs a bit of movement. Obviously, the only time when you're going to be moving it is when you're taking it on and off, really. But yeah, you don't need to go mad. Just need to get a light coat of grease. Make sure you don't cover that hole where the pin goes. So I'll just leave that there. So now, your pin wants to be facing, so like say for instance that's facing you. Your hole, sorry, wants to be facing the axle. Push that through like that. And then, where's that hole at? Right, that hole's there. And now I've got this little clip I could probably get in with my flattened screwdriver. That goes like that, and then just clips in. See if we can get that in. I think that's in. I'm not too sure. Right guys, that pin is in. It's not going anywhere. So that bolt is not coming out anywhere. It's got a hex edge on it, but it's not bolted, it's not screwed up. It's just held in by a pin. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's actually all right. If you do want to push your pistons back with your flat end screwdriver, you can just, I mean, it's not ideal to bend your brake pad, but if that's the only way that you can do it and it's the quickest way, yeah. So now that I've got a lot more clearance, I've got my thing in for the little spring back here, like I just showed you. 2 pads are in, the pin's in, and then I've got that bolt, that other pin. Cleaned up the boot, I've re-greased all this in here, re-greased this round here as well, and yeah, that's basically how you service. And you're just checking for any leakage, basically. Check your pistons all right. Make sure there's no grease over the around the pistons, that sort of stuff. And then yeah, you can just go give the caliper a bit of a clean on the outside. And yeah, so that's part 11 on the brake caliper on the Kx85 rebuild. So before I end this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and just scrub everything. Get everything cleaned, all the grease off. As you can see, there's loads of grease around it. Loads of grease down here. Just fingerprints and handprints and all that. So yeah, give it a little time lapse and give it a little clean up. Right guys, and there we have it. A serviced brake caliper. Pistons are all pushed back, and there's now enough room for the rotor to go in, and I'm going to now put this on the bike. So thanks for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.